Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
The Fox Carolina Investigates is also looking into why the Greenville Police Department seized thousands of dollars after a robbery and is still holding on to the cash years after the crime.
The victim says she was robbed of more than $20,000 in another state. So here's the question. How did it end up with Greenville Police, and why is she still fighting to get it back? To explain, here's Scotty Hunter.
If you're a victim of a crime, you expect the police to help. But Tamia Sims-Irby says they haven't helped her.
It's definitely a nightmare.
Back in 2022, she graduated from high school, moved to Atlanta, and was making a life for herself. That's when 4 men robbed her.
I still have scars from being pistol whipped. It was chaos. It was just too much going on. I was stabbed. I was robbed for a significant amount of money.
They stole thousands of dollars from her and raced back to Greenville. That's when police picked them up and seized the cash. Sims-Irby said the men pleaded guilty in the case back in 2023, and she thought she would get her money back. But 3 years later, it's still in lockup at the Greenville Police Department.
I've been dealing with this for 3 years. I'm 21 today. This happened when I was 18 years old.
She can't understand why her money would still be tied up at the police department, so she hired an attorney and filed this lawsuit to get it back. The only problem, even if she does get it back, Sims-Irby says she won't get all of her money because of legal fees.
Do you feel like you're being victimized again by the police department?
Yes, because it's like, what is y'all issue? Because why won't y'all just give the money back to me?
Sims-Irby tells me she's tried to call the police department over and over again, but has gotten nowhere.
All they're doing is sending me out with a little card, phone numbers on the back. I'm calling. It's hard to reach out. I have to wait days later to get a phone call.
Finally, she says, because they did not want to give the money to the wrong person, she was told to take it to court and get an order from a judge.
Their final solution was file a civil suit. And then when I filed a civil suit, then what?
Fox Carolina Investigates reached out to the Greenville Police Department asking why it's taken so long for the money to be returned, whether the agency believes a court order is needed, and whether it should be on the victim to make that happen. A spokesperson told us the agency would not comment because of the active lawsuit.
It's a unique case.
So we spoke with our legal analyst, Grant Varner, who calls the case complex. He says there are a lot of moving parts at play, but ultimately it comes down to whether Sims-Irby can prove the money is actually hers.
Well, the city of Greenville has an issue. Who do they return this cash to? How do they get it back in the hands of the rightful owner? And that's difficult to determine, and certainly the city doesn't want to be liable if they give the money back to Ms. Sims-Irby only for a couple of weeks later someone else to come along and say, hey, whoa, that was my money and I can prove it.
He says if the police department believes Sims-Irby got the money through illegal activity, the agency could have filed an intent to seize the cash, but it's unclear if that happened.
I don't see anything that indicates that's in play here or anyone's trying to seize the money.
Speaking of that money, Sims-Irby says whatever she gets will come up short.
With legal fees and trying to get the court involved, now she's going to be losing out on some of the money that originally she says was stolen from her.
I sympathize with her in that aspect. I do not think it's fair that she is going to be penalized trying to recover her funds, right? And it opens a lot of other, the door to a lot of other questions.
Sims-Irby also wants to know why the money is even being held at the Greenville Police Department in the first place. The robbery happened in Atlanta. The men were arrested in Greenville, but then sent back to Atlanta to face the charges.
Her question is, why did Greenville hold on to the money if their cases actually played out in Georgia?
That's a good question. It's hard to say why the money wouldn't have been transferred back to property and evidence in Georgia. It's possible Georgia said, we don't need it as evidence in the case. We've got what we need. And it could be the old colloquial hot potato. Nobody wants to deal with it. There's too many questions. It's somebody else's problem.
Either way, it is a problem for Sims-Irby. And while these questions likely play out in court, she tells me she's not backing down.
I'm not going to stop till I get my money because I don't feel like I should be funding a police department.
Now that was Scotty Hunter reporting. Now, while the Greenville Police Department would not answer our questions about this case, they do have 30 days to respond to the lawsuit after being served. We do know they were served on May 13th.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
And we begin with a harrowing tale, a barrage of bullets and a woman playing dead to keep from being killed. The Dearborn Heights woman is recovering in the hospital now. She's lost her hand, but thankfully not her life. She says her ex-boyfriend opened fire on her home. She tried to dodge, but was hit several times, and her fiance was also wounded. Fox 2's Camila Mary spoke with her about what could have been deadly.
When the screen door, he just started shooting his gun, his AR-15. It was just shots everywhere.
It was Sunday morning, May 18th. Darshell Evans was getting ready to make breakfast for herself and her fiance when she says her ex-boyfriend walked into the house. Evans lives on Waddell Street in Dearborn Heights.
He just came in shooting. He didn't say anything. He didn't have any words. He just came in blazing, gunfire. That's all I seen is gunfire.
Evans' fiance is shot in the leg and yet is able to run away. But Evans is shot several times.
He was trying to shoot me in my head, and then I blocked it with my right hand, which caused an amputation of my right hand. And once he did that, I had to play like I was dead just so he would stop shooting.
Later that afternoon in Detroit, police arrested Evans' ex-boyfriend, Ashante Linnelli Ramon McAfee.
He just wanted me back. He was just like one of those type of people, like, if I can't have you, nobody can have you.
And in the 6 years they were together,
you know, maybe like a push or a shove or something like that, but never to the point where I had to call the police on him.
Evans isn't sure when she'll be getting out of the hospital. Eventually, she'll be getting a prosthetic hand and will have to learn how to navigate life with it.
I just take it one day at a time. That's all I can do is take it one day at a time, and I still have nightmares. I still have flashbacks. I just take it one day at a time. That's all I can do.
A GoFundMe has been set up to help Evans. If you would like to donate, we'll be putting a link on our website, fox2detroit.com. Camille Amiri, Fox 2 News.
Developing tonight, Detroit police are trying to solve a deadly shooting from the east side of the city. Police say a transgender woman was found shot inside a home on Troster Street after 11 this morning. No suspects are in custody just yet. The motive behind this shooting is under investigation.
There's a house party in the 8500 block of Wisconsin. There was a verbal argument which led to gunfire and 2 people being shot.
And that chain of events, community activists say, is never acceptable and could have been amicably settled. A house party should be a fun event, but instead a fight broke out, and by the end, 2 men were wounded. One was shot in the ankle and the other shot in the shoulder. They both ended up in the hospital. It happened at a home on Wisconsin Street on the west side of Detroit. Police haven't arrested anyone yet, but they're asking for help. If you know anything, call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers.
There was a brief struggle between the suspect and an employee here. The weapon was discharged, striking the employee.
And we have to tell you about more gun violence tonight from the west side of Detroit. A gas station employee was shot during an attempted robbery this morning. It happened at a Marathon gas station on Ewald and Davison. The employee was taken to the hospital, last listed in temporary serious condition. The suspect, though, is still on the run. He's described as a man in his 40s wearing a black ski mask and hoodie. Once again, reach out to Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers if you can help. All right, this is a wild one. A Michigan woman whose husband caught her in betrayal committed the ultimate treachery. Prosecutors say she doused her husband in gasoline, set him on fire, then ran over his body. And now she's learning how she'll pay for this crime. Investigators say it was back in 2007 when Linda Sturmer did this to her husband, Todd Sturmer. Prosecutors say Linda killed him after he found out that she was having an affair. Sturmer was first convicted in 2010, but was given a new trial in 2020. However, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Social media comedian HaHa Davis is behind bars for no laughing matter here. He is accused of domestic violence. The Detroit native, whose real name is Carlos Davis, was arrested by Utica police on Friday. Investigators haven't released any additional information on the victims. We don't know much about the circumstances. Davis is being held at the Macomb County Jail on a $5,000 cash surety bond.